Hi, I'm Addison. 22 years old and 9 months pregnant wasn't how I planned to still be living with my parents, but life has a way of derailing even the best laid plans. My boyfriend Jake had split the moment I told him about the baby, and my minimum wage job at the bookstore barely covered my prenatal vitamins, let alone an apartment. Mom, I think something's happening, I said, gripping the kitchen counter as a sharp pain radiated through my abdomen. My mother barely looked up from her crossword puzzle. Probably those spicy noodles you insisted on having for lunch. I told you they'd give you indigestion. No, this is different. I think the baby's coming. Another contraction hit, stronger this time. I gasped, doubling over. Don't be dramatic, Addison. First babies take forever. Call me when your water breaks. She filled in another word, pen scratching against paper. I stumbled to the bathroom, trying to time the contractions on my phone the way the birthing class instructor had taught me. 8 minutes apart. Still early, but definitely labor. My father's heavy footsteps approached the bathroom door. What's all the commotion about? Dad, I need to go to the hospital. The contractions are getting stronger. Now? It's the championship game, Addison. Can't this wait until morning? No, Dad. Babies don't wait for convenient timing. Please, I need to go now. He sighed dramatically. Fine, but make it quick. I'm missing the fourth quarter for this nonsense. In the car, the contractions intensified. My mother sat in the passenger seat, scrolling through her phone. Maybe we should call Dr. Patel, I suggested between labored breaths. You're overreacting, my mother replied without looking up. Remember your cousin Bethany? She was in labor for 3 days. 3 days? My father exploded, swerving slightly. I'm not driving back and forth to the hospital for 3 days. Dad, please focus on the road, I begged, as another contraction gripped me. Oh God, they're getting closer together. This is ridiculous, he muttered, suddenly pulling over to the shoulder of the road. We're only 10 minutes from home. This is clearly a false alarm. It's not. Please, Dad. Something feels wrong. Tears streamed down my face as panic set in. Robert, just take her to the hospital, my mother said half-heartedly. If nothing else, they can send her home properly. My father turned to face me, his expression cold. No, I've had enough of your dramatics. This pregnancy has been nothing but an inconvenience from day one. What are you doing? I gasped as he reached across me and flung open my door. Get out! Call an ambulance if you're so desperate. Robert! My mother's voice held surprise but no real protest. Dad, please, I sobbed. I can't. The baby. Die there for all I care. You brought this on yourself. He shoved me and I tumbled out onto the gravel shoulder, my phone falling from my pocket and skittering under the car. Before I could fully process what was happening, they were gone, taillights disappearing around the curve. I curled into myself on the roadside, another contraction tearing through me. Hello, miss, are you okay? A woman's voice cut through my pain. Headlights illuminated my huddled form. The baby, was all I could manage. Oh my God, Trent, call 911. The woman shouted. I'm Maya. I'm a nurse. Let me help you. As Maya knelt beside me, her husband already on the phone with emergency services, I made a silent promise to myself and my unborn child. My parents would pay for this. There would be no forgiveness, no reconciliation. Only justice. So they just left you there? On the side of the road? Detective Keller's pen hovered over her notepad, her expression a mixture of shock and professional detachment. Yes. I shifted in the hospital bed, glancing at my newborn daughter sleeping peacefully in the bassinet beside me. My father literally pushed me out of the car and told me to die there. Maya, who had refused to leave my side since finding me, leaned forward. When we got to her, she was in active labor. If we hadn't come along when we did, the timing was critical, Dr. Shaw interjected, flipping through my chart. Addison experienced a partial placental abruption. Without immediate medical intervention, both she and the baby could have died. Detective Keller's pen scratched across paper. And you're certain these were your parents? Robert and Caroline Grant? Absolutely certain, I confirmed, wincing as I adjusted my position. I lived with them my entire life, including throughout my pregnancy. They've been difficult since I told them I was pregnant, I explained. But I never imagined they'd do something like this. Difficult how? Detective Keller prodded. Maya touched my arm gently. You don't have to answer everything right now, Addison. You've been through enough. No, I want to. I straightened my shoulders. They made it clear the pregnancy was an inconvenience, called it my mistake, and said I was ruining my life and embarrassing them. But they wouldn't let me move out either. Said I couldn't support myself and the baby. Controlling behavior, Detective Keller noted. Were there other incidents before this one? Nothing this extreme, but I hesitated, memories flooding back. My dad disconnected my phone service when I was 7 months pregnant because I talked to my friend Olivia for too long. Said I was wasting his money. And your mother? She's more passive, goes along with whatever my dad decides. When he cut my phone off, she just said, You know how he gets when he's upset, Addison. A knock at the door interrupted us. A woman with cropped silver hair and kind eyes peeked in. Sorry to interrupt. I'm Sandra Winters from Child Protective Services. May I come in? Detective Keller nodded. We're just taking Miss Grant's statement about the abandonment. I don't understand, I said, anxiety rising. Why is CPS here? I haven't done anything wrong. Sandra pulled up a chair. You're not in any trouble, Addison. I'm here to help ensure both you and your daughter are safe. Since you're only 22 and were living with your parents before this incident, we need to assess the situation and help arrange appropriate housing and support. I can't go back there, I whispered, tears threatening. You won't have to, Detective Keller assured me. What your parents did constitutes child endangerment and reckless endangerment at minimum, possibly attempted murder depending on what the DA decides. Murder? The word felt strange on my tongue. They abandoned you in a life-threatening medical emergency after forcibly removing you from their vehicle, Detective Keller explained. Given Dr. Shaw's assessment that this could have resulted in both your deaths without intervention, yes, the charges could be quite serious. Olivia burst into the room, her curly hair wild and eyes wide. Addison! Oh my God, I just heard. Are you okay? Is the baby okay? We're both fine, thanks to Maya and Trent, I said, gesturing to my rescuers. And your parents? Please tell me they've been arrested. Olivia's voice dripped with venomous hatred. She'd witnessed their treatment of me firsthand for years. Not yet, Detective Keller answered, but we'll be bringing them in for questioning today. They should rot in jail, Olivia spat, after everything they've put you through. Olivia, I cautioned, nodding toward the CPS worker. No, it's all right, Sandra said. Anger is a normal response to this situation. But Addison, I want you to know you have options. We can help you find temporary housing, apply for benefits, even pursue legal action if that's what you want. I do want that, I said firmly, looking at my daughter's tiny face. I want them to face consequences for what they did. Not just for me, but for her. They were willing to let their own granddaughter die on the side of the road. Detective Keller closed her notebook. I'll keep you updated on the investigation. In the meantime, is there someone you can stay with after discharge? She can stay with me, Maya offered immediately. We have a spare bedroom. Trent and I already discussed it. I stared at her in shock. But you barely know me. Maya smiled warmly. Sometimes humanity just requires stepping up. Besides, I have 3 kids of my own. One more little one won't make much difference. For the first time since the nightmare began, I felt a glimmer of hope. Not for reconciliation, that bridge was permanently burned, but for justice, and perhaps a new beginning. Your parents are claiming this was all a misunderstanding, District Attorney Ramirez said, tapping his pen against the file. They say you asked to be let out of the car. I shifted in my chair, careful not to wake Emma sleeping against my chest. That's absurd. Why would I ask to be abandoned during labor? They're saying you were hysterical, threatening to deliver in the car. And that justifies leaving me to die? I laughed bitterly. Even if that ridiculous story were true, what kind of parents abandon their daughter in active labor? Exactly our point, Ramirez nodded. We have your medical records confirming the placental abruption. Dr. Shah has provided a statement that this was life-threatening. So you're pressing charges? Hope flared in my chest. Yes, child endangerment, reckless endangerment, and attempted involuntary manslaughter. Olivia slipped into the seat beside me, whispering, Sorry I'm late. Your parents hired Harvey Preston, Ramirez continued. He's already approached me about a plea deal. Preston? Olivia interjected. The hotshot who got that banker off? No deals, I said firmly. They left me to die. They left Emma to die. A trial will be difficult, Ramirez warned. You'll have to testify, face your parents. I don't care. I want justice. Detective Keller entered with a middle-aged woman. Mrs. Hernandez insisted on speaking with you. She's your parents' neighbor. I was walking my dog that night, Mrs. Hernandez explained. I heard your father say, she made her choice. If she's stupid enough to get herself knocked up, she can figure it out herself. My breath caught. Did you hear anything else? Your mother asked, what if something happens to her? And your father said, then maybe she'll finally learn her lesson. I'm not raising another kid because she was irresponsible. We also obtained their phone records, Detective Keller added. After they left you, your mother texted asking if they should go back. Your father replied, no, let her call 911 if she's really in labor. I'm not missing the end of the game for her drama. Ramirez's expression hardened. This changes things. No plea deals, and I'm adding child abuse to the charges. I want to face them, I said suddenly. Before the trial. Addison, that's not a good idea, Olivia cautioned. They've been asking to speak with you, Detective Keller said, claiming they want to apologize. Apologize? I laughed darkly. No, I don't want their apologies. I want to tell them exactly what I think of them. If you're certain, Ramirez said, we can arrange a meeting. Controlled environment, officers present. I'm certain, I replied, looking at my sleeping daughter. For Emma's sake and for mine. The county jail visitation room felt suffocating. I sat rigidly at the metal table, Olivia beside me, Detective Keller in the corner. Maya waited outside with Emma. I wouldn't let my parents see her. The door buzzed. My parents entered in orange jumpsuits, my father handcuffed, my mother's face tear-stained. Addison? She gasped. Thank God you're okay? No thanks to you, I replied coldly. We've been so worried, my father said, voice unusually subdued. They wouldn't tell us anything about you or the baby. Her name is Emma, not that you care. Of course we care, my mother cried. This has all been a terrible misunderstanding. Olivia snorted. Misunderstanding? You abandoned her in labor and told her to die. We were under stress, my father argued, looking at Detective Keller rather than me. Addison was hysterical. Stop lying, I interrupted. I have the text messages about not missing your game for my drama, and Mrs. Hernandez heard everything you said that night. The color drained from my father's face. My mother began sobbing. We made a mistake, she pleaded. But we're your parents, Addison. We love you. Love? I leaned forward. You left me on the side of the road while I was hemorrhaging internally. Dr. Shah said Emma and I could have died. We didn't know, my father protested weakly. You didn't care, I corrected. There's a difference. What do you want from us? My father's manipulative edge returned. Money, medical bills paid. You can come home. I will never set foot in your house again. What I want is justice. You can't possibly want your own parents in prison, my mother gasped. Actually, I can. I'll be at every court date, every hearing, making sure the jury knows exactly what you did. This isn't you, my father tried. You've always been forgiving. That person died on the side of that road, I said, standing. You killed her when you drove away. Please, my mother begged. Think about Emma. She needs her grandparents. She needs people who would die for her, not leave her to die. I gathered my purse. I've said what I came to say. Addison, wait, my father called. We're sorry. What more do you want? I turned, meeting his eyes one final time. I want what you were willing to give me that night. Nothing. 6 months later, I watched the verdict being read. Guilty on all counts. My father, 8 years. My mother, 5. As they were led away, my mother looked back tearfully. My father didn't look back at all. Outside the courthouse, reporters shouted questions. I held Emma close, Maya and Olivia beside me. How does it feel to get justice? A reporter called. This isn't just about justice for me, I replied. It's about Emma growing up knowing her worth, knowing no one has the right to harm or abandon her. Will you ever forgive your parents? No, I said simply. Some things are unforgivable, but I'm not defined by what they did. I'm defined by what I do next. That evening, in the small apartment Maya had helped me find, I rocked Emma to sleep. Sometimes the family you're born into isn't the family you end up with, I whispered. And that's okay. We're going to be more than okay. My phone buzzed with a text from Olivia. Still on for dinner tomorrow? Trent's grilling. I smiled, typing back. Wouldn't miss it. Emma needs her honorary aunts and uncles. As I set down my phone, I wondered how many others had stories like mine. Moments of betrayal that changed everything. What would you do if the people who were supposed to love you most left you when you needed them most? Would you find the strength to seek justice? Or would you choose forgiveness? I chose justice. And looking at my daughter's peaceful face, I knew I'd make the same choice 1,000 times over.